Hey guys, this is Nick from Guazio, here to show you how to install the MLRun kit. You can install it using Docker or with Kubernetes, and in this video we'll show you the way to install with Kubernetes. So from the MLRun homepage, go ahead and click on Installation Guide, and from there click on Kubernetes Cluster. This will show you the instructions for Kubernetes. This option is a little bit more advanced, it gives you some more features, and it gives you the ability to run jobs with dedicated resources. For example, run my job with 2 CPUs and a GPU. That's only possible on the Kubernetes install. If you're looking for a simpler way to get up and running that's a little bit more limited, check out the Docker installation, which will have its own dedicated video. So for the Kubernetes install, we're going to need a few things. The first of which is a Kubernetes cluster. You can use any Kubernetes cluster, but I strongly recommend using Docker Desktop. Super easy to install and super easy to enable Kubernetes. So I have that running here. Docker Desktop is running and Kubernetes is running. So I can go over to the settings for that, which are right here. And you can go under the Kubernetes tab and click Enable Kubernetes. This will start a single node cluster using Docker Desktop. It's just that simple. Under Resources, I strongly recommend adding at least 4 cores and 3 gigs of memory. If you're on Windows running WSL, you may not see this, and there's a section in the installation docs for setting resources through the command line. If you're on Mac, you will see this screen here. So we have our Kubernetes cluster. Let's make sure that we have the next prerequisites, which are the kubectl and Helm command line tools, as well as a Docker Hub account. So for the command line tools, you can install those easily using those links. I'll make sure they're installed here. So kubectl looks good, Helm looks good, and we can connect to our Kubernetes cluster by doing kubectl git nodes. And we can see my Docker Desktop clusters right here. My Docker Hub account is set up. You'll just have to trust me on that, and we'll be using that a little bit later. Again, there's some information here on installing Docker Desktop and configuring it for Windows using WSL to set those memory limits. In terms of actually installing, we just have to run a few commands, the first of which is to create a namespace in Kubernetes. So we'll go ahead and run that. This will just create an isolated namespace for us to install all of our resources. This is best practice in Kubernetes, so everything is separated. Next, we're going to add our Helm chart repository. This will make it so that we have access to the things we need to install. And then we're going to go ahead and update our Helm repository. This is really important, and it'll make sure that we're grabbing all the latest changes, just in case there are any bugs that need to be fixed. Next, we're going to create a Kubernetes secret. This is specifying our Docker Hub account information. This is making it so that if we need to build or pull an image from our Docker Hub account, Kubernetes can securely access it using a secret. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this into my notepad here. And here's where you would fill in your own information. If you're using Docker Hub, this first Docker server parameter is going to be this guy right here. So I'll paste that in. And from here, you fill in your own Docker username, password, and email. I'm not going to show that on video, but I'll fill this in off screen, paste it in, and we'll be right back. Okay, and we are back. I've gone ahead and added my own secret, and we can confirm that using kubectl git secrets -n. This is the namespace, MLRun, and we can see registry credentials, which is the same name as the secret we just created. So that is all good. Last thing we need to do is the actual installation itself. So this last command here is the Helm install. I'll copy this into my notepad, and the secret name here is already populated registry credentials. The only thing we need to add is our global registry URL, which is a link to our Docker Hub account. If you're using Docker Hub, it'll be in this format right here. So index.docker.io/your username, which in my case will look something like this. So this is my username for Docker Hub. So I'll go ahead and copy that, paste it in here, and this will spin up all of our resources. It'll pull the images that it needs, and it will probably take a little bit longer on your first run because it does need to pull those images. If you're impatient like I am, and you want to see where things are, you can open up a new terminal and run the following: kubectl git pods -n MLRun. This is the MLRun namespace. And you can see what exactly is happening in that namespace. You can also add a -w to watch it, and this will refresh it periodically So you can see what exactly is going on behind the scenes. And in my case, I can see we're waiting for Jupyter to spin up as well as the API. So we'll see there's some changes here. And we'll give this guy a moment to do its thing. So we'll be right back once it's done. Okay, and we're back. We can see this nice little printout saying we are up and running, and also a list of all of our services. If I go back to the second terminal and I run my Git pods again, we can see that everything is running just like it should be. So from here, we can go ahead and open all of these links in our browser, and this will open up all of our services. So we can see here that Jupyter is running, or it's loading, Nucleo is running, MLRun is running, as well as the MLRun API. The MLRun API doesn't have a front end, so it just has this JSON message, but this is correct behavior. So that's pretty much it. What I recommend doing is in Jupyter, click on Quick Start and run the Quick Start tutorial. This will use MLRun, it'll use Nucleo, and you'll get an idea of how everything works together. Within this page here, there's more information on advanced configuration, adding other services, and uninstalling. But in order to install and get up and running, that's all you really need to do. So I hope this guide was useful. Again, if you're looking for an easier way to get up and running with a little bit more limited of a feature set, check out the Docker installation, which has its own video. So I hope you enjoyed this guide. I hope you enjoy MLRun, and I'll see you in the next one.